Morning, good afternoon. We got a banger for y'all today, baby. We got a react video to Jeff here. As always, putting his YouTube in the description. He is a legend. Make sure you're subbed to him. Jeff made this video titled Call of Duty's Changing Forever, so obviously I wanted to react to it and kind of hear what he had to say. I hope y'all enjoy this and the conversation that happens, and if you do, hit the like button, hit the sub button. Most importantly, be sure to tell somebody you love them. I'll catch you in the next one.
What's going on, guys? It's Chad.
We're
back
back
here
Jeff.
on some more Modern Warfare 3, and today we ended up getting some news about some future Call of Duty stuff, so I figured I would talk about it today. I'm not sure how long this video is going to be, but early intel ended up tweeting new rumors about Call of Duty 2024 Black Ops Gulf.
Just for the record, this is actually my first time really seeing this. For some reason, I didn't see these tweets, so I don't really know like what changes. The most I know about the new COD is I'm pretty sure it's Treyarch. Right, that's about the extent of it.
Open world elements. Campaign will have a fast travel system and vehicles. Raven Software is developing the campaign themselves. Adler is set to return, so you know anybody that followed my whole Cold War series or anyone that even played it themselves definitely had a interesting ending. Well, depending on how you did it anyway. And then there's an October 2024 release. I actually assumed that Call of Duty would start releasing more away from the holidays. The more and more that Call of Duty potentially falls behind, even though Call of Duty is a juggernaut year over year for sales anyway, I feel like it might get a little bit harder and harder for them to sell more and more if a whole lot of people are buying a bunch of different games around the holidays. It's a little bit more.
They're saying that's going to have open world elements. They've never had that in a Call of Duty before, right? Probably why Jeff's title is Call of Duty is Changing Forever.
For them to compete with. They're a little bit more behind this time around, so it makes sense for them to kind of release a little bit earlier than the others, but we'll see. This is via Tom Henderson, Insider Gaming. New report claims that open world missions in Black Ops Gulf War campaign will be different than Modern Warfare 3's, with an original setting instead of reused assets, along with fast travel, vehicles, and more.
It's very interesting.
Still be linear missions too. Now, reading this, it says open.
I just want to say I'm a fan of linear. Me personally, open world games, with the exception of like, you know, I would say like World of Warcraft or MMOs, like if you give me an open world thing, I just don't know what I'm doing. I guess Borderlands is open world too, and I love that game too. But like a game like, let me give you an example. What's, is it Fallout? That whole series, isn't that like considered open world? It is, right? Fallout. So like Fallout is an example of a game that I think was like more open world that I just couldn't. I need direction.
People have this like visceral reaction, kind of myself included, really. Be like, oh no, it's going to be like Modern Warfare 3. This right here specifically says that it'll be different from Modern Warfare 3. So Modern Warfare 3 experimented with the concept in its open world.
So I didn't play this, so I didn't know
they did that. One step further. I have pretty much always enjoyed the Black Ops series campaigns overall. I always thought they were a little bit more, especially Cold War. I always thought they were a little bit more like experimental and a little bit more like psychological and shit, which I really enjoy. The numbers and all that, you know what I mean? Now it does say that it's going to be different from Modern Warfare 3, so I just think a lot of people are really worried that how different is it going to be from Modern Warfare 3? Because the community is obviously going to have a negative connotation towards it because the Modern Warfare 3 campaign was collectively, I don't see anyone sitting around saying the Modern Warfare 3 campaign was great. When you were playing it, you knew that it was made very, very quickly.
I didn't play it. All I know is people said it was way too short, and we're complaining about that.
Together very, very quickly, and it's really not even the developers' faults that all worked on it. The way that the higher ups construct things and throw things onto the developers themselves, and they have to hit these deadlines and things like that. It's a complete mess and lots of finger pointing and stuff like that. A lot of people don't understand, and a lot of it really isn't clear as to who makes what decision and for what reason those decisions are. And you can kind of try to, you know, some information is divulged to the public, but like you'd never get the whole story. So it says there will still be linear missions too. Now the thing is, the Modern Warfare 3 campaign did technically have linear missions as well, so I want to know what they mean exactly by this. And now it does say that it's not using you know, old assets or anything like that, so they can make this from the bottom up without it needing to be on Verdansk, right? So really this open world aspect could be constructed completely differently, and it might not work like Modern Warfare 3's at all. It does say that it'll be different, but it's at the moment
I didn't even know MW3 had
if it's open world, people don't really like the sound of that. But how do you make it
I didn't play it and I didn't hear about
somehow less shitty than what they did? It's odd. And then they go and start talking about COD 2025, which is currently rumored to be a sequel to Black Ops 2. So we have Gulf War that's going to be coming out in 2024, and then we have another Black Ops that's going to be coming out in 2025 apparently. Now that one is supposed to not be a sequel to Gulf War, but actually a sequel to Black Ops 2. So I assume Black Ops Gulf War, since Adler is apparently returning as well, this will be the end of like the Cold War timeline or whatever. It'll put like these characters to rest most likely, and then the next game will be a little bit more like near future if it's a sequel to Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 is set in like 2025 or something like that. So this does come out in 2025. So it's either going to be taking place right in 2025 or maybe within like 10, maybe 20 years of 2025, up to 2045 maximum. And a lot of people seem to think that means we're going to be having jetpacks and stuff like that. No, it doesn't mean jetpacks, but we'll see. I mean, it's not out of the question, I guess. It's also been discussed before that Sledgehammer did want to go and make, you know, a jetpack Call of Duty. And Sledgehammer has just been forced to clean up other, you know, messes and stuff like that.
So is that Sledgehammer? Whips. Treyarch is this next one, right? Did you look it up? This is the one thing I hate about not being live is like I can ask you guys. And so people are probably sitting there like, yeah, because I'm pretty sure it's Treyarch. Obviously, you have the rotational thing, right? But I'm pretty sure this one's Treyarch. So it's interesting to me that Sledgehammer would be the one on, I mean, the one after Black Ops 2, because wasn't that Treyarch? Who made BO2? It was Treyarch, right? That's so bizarre. So it's like you have a sequel coming to Black Ops 2 that Treyarch made, but Treyarch's not going to make that?
That the management,
hey, Black Ops 2 is what I started streaming with, man. You know,
so it seems like Sledgehammer always comes to save the day, and they always get the shit end of the stick. And then a lot of people go and say that Sledgehammer sucks when Sledgehammer is the reason why there's even a game out for that year. Treyarch also has to help a whole lot with other studios and shit. It's mostly Infinity Ward just sucks, man. I'm sorry, they just do. COD 2025 still hasn't had an assigned lead developer. So Treyarch themselves is confirmed. They're confirmed to be working on Gulf War, and they had years
if I just waited a minute, Jeff was going to tell me.
Gulf War. There's no like weird asterisk or anything like that in this whole development thing. They had actual time to work on this new Black Ops. This 2025 Black Ops title. Does it make more sense for Treyarch to make the second one? Does it make sense that Treyarch is somehow developing two games simultaneously with a lot of time on their plate to try to do so? That would mean that like if they took a full like 3 years plus in order to make Gulf War, when did they start working on the Black Ops 2 sequel, right? Or does it even exist yet? And if it does exist, that would mean that I personally believe that the next developer for COD 2025 for this Black Ops 2 sequel is probably Sledgehammer. Now, me personally, I'm excited for that because I'm a Sledgehammer fan. I think Modern Warfare 3 is great. I liked Vanguard overall. The only issue that Sledgehammer really has is that they seem a little less capable of fixing things from time to time. But I think Modern Warfare 3 has a good stream of content. The maps are good, but I mean, they're the original maps, so you're gonna get good maps. But the original maps, like Meat, for example, are great. But again, they are mentioning that it's gonna be another open world thing. But this time, Sledgehammer were the ones that put together Modern Warfare 3. They did what they could with it, right? Will they have more time to figure out what to do with an open world setting on another game? I mean, it seems like if the rumors are going around now, they already should be really like game planning now. Like they should be working on it now. Very early, but it should be now. I mean, considering they've been putting out games on like a year and a half of development time, just garbage time development. I mean, they're doing it, but at what cost? It seems like Call of Duty as a campaign anyway is changing in general. I don't know why they really like this whole open world thing. I don't think it was the worst thing ever. I don't think the open world thing itself was the worst thing ever for the campaign. And overall, it actually felt pretty cool. And it did still lead into like...
I didn't play it, so I can't speak on it, but me personally, just I prefer like a linear Call of Duty like storyline game. Comment down below if you played it. Let me know if you don't mind the open world thing or if you think that the linear way was the way to go, even though they're getting away from it, it seems like. Because I didn't play it, so I don't exactly know what it was like.
And stuff like that. So it's like, it's not all bad. And I think with a little bit more polish, it actually could be pretty good, but we'll see. And Tom Henderson himself from Insider Gaming, he said, as mentioned in this article, currently Call of Duty 2025, which is 20 months away from release, does not have an assigned main developer. It's my understanding that it was meant to be Sledgehammer, but following on from the 16-month development cycle of Modern Warfare 3, they basically refused and didn't want to be a 2-year support studio. I'm just saying, now I don't know if this is going to mean that Sledgehammer is going to get thrown under the bus or completely dropped as a studio or something like that, but I'm really happy that they stood up for themselves because they have been, like I was saying earlier, they've been getting the shit end of everything repeatedly. And their reputation has been taking hit after hit after hit for it. They're not working on games that are set in the timelines that they want. They're not working on games that the amount of time that they need. Also, about a week and a half or so ago, there was this gameplay that ended up leaking out from a game that was developing in early like 2010.
Oh, Wow, bless me.
Ends or so that Neversoft actually was working on. That was it looked like Infinite
I saw these
Warfare
leaks.
almost,
I saw
but that
these
was
leaks.
completely scrapped. Man, that would have been crazy. We've never played a Neversoft, fully Neversoft developed Call of Duty. The only full-blown Neversoft titles that I ever played were like Guitar Hero and all of the Tony Hawk games. I have a little Neversoft shirt. I'm a fanboy. I loved Neversoft before all that went down anyway. High Moon Studios was in the running
Neversoft
out.
the one with the eyeball logo? How funny is it that I think it is, and I'm pretty sure that that's how it is. That's actually crazy that I can like vividly, and that I think it's because of Tony Hawk. That's so
Unclear if
funny.
it's still the case, which would have made it the fourth studio ever to mainline a Call of Duty game. But I believe that it's likely going to fall on Treyarch in the end. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, somehow Treyarch is going to have a full development cycle for Gulf War, and then somehow, whilst finishing and polishing Gulf War, they have to somehow create another Call of Duty technically in the same Black Ops timeline, but jumping into the present / future with less than 20 months remaining. It's not good signs, I'm just saying. Infinity Ward is already developing COD 2026, and Sledgehammer Games recently got the green light to develop COD 2027. So Sledgehammer actually has a great amount of time to actually develop themselves fully without having to assist another studio
3 years
or work
from now?
on another studio's vision or fill in the gaps. They can make their
Basically
own
4,
shit. I've been
right?
hard on
So it'll be the
Sledgehammer
end of it.
themselves, you know, after the release kind of thing, but I've also loved a lot of their games overall. I love their vision for multiplayer. I think next to Treyarch, they are the studio that actually understands classic multiplayer Call of Duty. They understand what is and isn't fun. They might not understand balance or fixing a lot of terrible bugs and glitches and shit like that, and it might take them a while to get around to it, and the communication might be kind of, you know, lackluster, but Sledgehammer knows how to make a fun Call of Duty. They just do. If these games are already planned and those teams could potentially be working on those games again in the future, are they all gonna have this open world thing? Because now, so they're confirming that the next 2 Call of Duties are gonna have this open world element thing. Call of Duty's changing. I don't really know. I mean, there's a way that they could, I guess, somehow try to make this open world thing a little bit more consistent and it make more sense, and maybe they can somehow shed that negative light that is on it. But again, these are just rumors. A lot of things can change and stuff like that. Obviously, Tom Henderson's super trustable. Now, whether all this stuff or any of it will be true by the time the games actually come out, or trailers or whatever, things can obviously still change. But I'm actually really happy that I read that little detail there that Sledgehammer was actually refusing. They were like, nah, we're good.
I didn't know a studio.
I didn't give us a shot. Let us work on one game ourselves with ample time, and just let us see what we can do with this shit. Now, who knows what kind of game they're going to develop, though? Watch them go and make a jetpack Call of Duty, which I'm not a fan of. If anyone's going to make an enjoyable jetpack Call of Duty, to me personally, I'm probably in the minority here. I think Sledgehammer could probably pull it off, because me personally, I didn't really like Black Ops 3 and all the ones that are like really highly regarded. I basically wasn't even allowed to play Infinite Warfare, but I played a great amount of Advanced Warfare, and that was some of the craziest movement, and again, that was Sledgehammer. But we'll see. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys are thinking about this whole weird information going around. I have some Power World up tomorrow. I got some boss fights and shit lined up. We're in for a ride. It looks like those yearly releases aren't going anywhere.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about that too, bro. It's like they're already planned out right now until 2027. Okay, what I was going to say is it's very interesting to me, like growing up, I guess I didn't realize this, but now as an adult, I do, and being in the gaming space, but it's so bizarre how you have so many different studios that are on Call of Duty. Like if you really think about that, like what, Treyarch, Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer. Those are those are like is that it, Whips? Those 3, right? This is where I need to be live, bro. I'm forgetting someone. I mean, Ravensoft, right? Technically, kind of. But it's very bizarre. You have all these companies and all these studios that make different Call of Duties in their own way, but it's still the same game. I can't, is there any other game like that? I can't think of one. Where it's like you have multiple developers and multiple studios making the same franchise. It's very bizarre. But, I mean, I'll be curious to see just kind of how that all flushes out, man. Me personally, I know Jeff said he loves Sledgehammer. I don't mind Sledgehammer and the CODs they've made, but I think my favorite is Treyarch. If I had to pick, and that's the thing too, Infinity Ward, they made, you know, the OG MW2, and so that's a little soft spot in my heart. But Treyarch, for me, Black Ops 2 was the very first game I ever streamed and what I loved playing. I'm a fan of Black Ops 2's, or like Treyarch's ranking system, the way they made it. I'm pretty sure Treyarch's the one that made Blackout, I think. So I'll be really curious, kind of like from someone that I'm not as much multiplayer, obviously, #Timon, as I am Warzone. I'll be really curious, like when Treyarch's in charge, what Warzone's going to look like. because I think like changes that they can make can be really, really, really good for Warzone. We'll see. We'll see.